Evening. I was thinking about doing a live or not doing a live. However, it really all depends on you and the support. I was quite happy to go home. Anyway, I went out with a few friends earlier on, and I did some training on the motorbikes, which was great. But that thing I own is an absolute rocket. When you give it with a few friends, you go, have you got insurance for this? Yes. Let me have a look. You do. Off you go. And it's an absolute fucking weapon. Fastest thing I've ever been in. Anyway, there's that. Anyway, so we've been on our motorbike lessons, which is incidentally interesting because I've got no great skill over this. And he's been on his bike and he's just sold his R6 for an R1. Right. This gives you some idea of the how good the lad is. Anyway, the biggest problem he has is going slow for all speed limits and whatever else. Anyway, I am kind of hoping, and I should stick on the banner, that you lot are going to call him because otherwise I'm going to go to bed. That's where I am. I said I might have a go, right? And here we are. But this is nothing without your calling. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let me have a look through the comments. Hi, Rev. Hi, Simon. Hi. Evening, Simon. Greeting from Anglesey. Really? Anglesey in North Wales. We went over there. We were close, but not quite Anglesey. Oh, I fucking love that place. It's not, you never want to think about running off to somewhere else and giving up. But if there was ever a place you could go and have 5 minutes, where we went over in North Wales was beautiful. It was fucking unbelievable. So we've got them in, right? Now, have we got a caller? That's all we need. One caller. Bully. It's interesting. I love watching the comments. I do. So it was one of these. It was like, so do I stay completely sober and go home? No. Do I have a few beers, go home and see how it goes? Yeah, that's where we are now. The bike lessons were interesting. And I have to ask, is there anybody who is listening that's been on a new twin? This is a 2023 twin. That's which is tip, by the way. You're like, and nothing happens. No, I know I'm 17 stone, which is more than I used to be, right? Hello, you lot. Yeah. Anyway, no, my mate went, no, it's fucking slow on it. I went, yeah, you're used to an R6 or an R1, mate. Doesn't really count. But I will say this. My little bandit will fucking walk all over those cunts quite happily. Now, it is nice to have you lying. Yes, it is. Looking at the comments makes you feel so. It does. It picks you up. It makes you feel good. It really does. So, yeah. Twin what? I think it was a 650. And I think it is a Kawasaki, but it was some fucking absolute gayness. Sorry, mate. There is. I was thinking that I would come into it and be completely shit myself, and then I like to go around at 5 miles an hour. But I got on this thing and I was like, there is nothing. It's talk, but nothing but talk. Does anybody of the biking community understand what I'm saying? Talk, but nothing else. Bandit, lovely bike. Yeah, it is 600. So we got taken on a massive round trip, by the way. Probably about, I don't know, 60, 70 miles. We loved it. My hand was dropping off, as you do. But, so how are we feeling at the moment about the current situation, right? This is why we're here, right? Are you feeling oppressed? Have you seen this coming? Are you okay with it? Do you actually believe, like me, that the quickening is a good thing? Or are you worried about the future of your family, yourself, your kids? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Better still, call in. And let me know what you think. Ducati 900. Yeah, we got a few friends with Ducatis, but I tried to get on one of the R1, right? I tried to get on the R1 and I realized I was too fat or too uncomfortable, right? And a Ducati for me? Right. Stay where you are, sir. It's clearly a mistake of mine. Give me a second, sir. Do you know what? Do you ever get that every inch you do is always trying to go against you? Right. Connected for calls. Bear with it, mate.
Hello.
Oh, I can hear you now. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah, excellent. How you doing?
I'm okay, Donkey. How are you?
Oh, Donkey. Yeah, I'm all right. You. So, you have been around this for quite a while. So, as it's changing, are you just sat there going, "Yep, saw this coming, saw that coming"?
Saw it coming. Love you saying about the quickening.
But it is, isn't it? It is the quickening.
It is. Yeah, and you know, I wish you'd have put a bet on. I honestly do.
Ask yourself this: would you want to prosper off other people's misery?
No, not off other people's misery, but
So
over what was going to come down the line.
I know you a little bit from what you've called in. There's no way you would have enjoyed being right about this.
No, I fucking hate it.
Or making money out of it. So there we are. Anyway, how are you, Sweet Pea? Now, I'm going to ask, how do you see this going? Now, remember the constricts of everything we have.
Yes.
Do you think more draconian?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. More draconian. Right.
Yeah. I give X a month.
Did you ever look at history and go, their false imprisonment was wrong? I mean, I'd look at the Ireland. I'd look at, say, for instance, Vietnam. I'd look at other things, and you look at them and you go,
well, I can remember on my interview for joining the army, and they turned around because it was in the 80s. What do you think about IRA or whatever? And I actually turned around and said, I can understand what they want, but I don't understand the violence. And that's what I'm seeing now. I can understand what people want, but I don't understand, I don't think the violence.
So, I don't agree in any violence, no matter what, but I understand people having their point of view. Say, for instance, the provisionals, right? Now, when we look at exactly what they wanted Ireland to themselves. What was bad, and this is the part that I had the problem with, right, is that everybody brainwashed them into saying, we want a socialist Ireland under a united government. That was North and South, right? What does socialism do to its people, mate?
Milks them till they're dry.
Right, exactly that. But it made these people go out and fight and die, get cut up, go to prison, do 20 years on their head for terrorism, just to come out and see these people sell them out. Now, I actually feel sorry, and I've got to say this, I feel sorry for the actual true IRA patriots. There's a reason for this. I don't like what they did, but they had the cause. They had the minerals. They did what they did, right? Now, we had the loyalists, we had everything else going on at the time. All it was our government rinsing everybody out, and it's doing it now, right? Now.
Yeah. And I say that, I'm one of those guys that was pulled out of the car, if you remember that, at the funeral. I knew him. Didn't know it when I seen the news. I was out in Germany at the time. But we found out, within a short time, and somebody that I knew. Terrible. But, yeah, how much of it was instigated?
Well,
how much?
I've been doing a load of, because I was interested in how we were over in Germany and the Cold War. Massively interested in that. But I was more interested in, when I was younger, over how that if you look at Kennedy, he didn't want anything to do with it. And then after that, when he got executed, then obviously Bain Johnson went in there and there was a massive war. And after that war, I have to say that he may have been corrupt, but he realized that millions of people died under his command. And I don't think that he had he didn't want to do it again. And that was shortly after that he died, but there was no particular thing that he died of, as far as I'm concerned. That man was the most arrogant guy until he saw the internal working of government. And I think at that point he went, oh my days. Now, I have to say that there's a lot of patriots like yourself, me, and others, that if we actually understood the true workings of this thing, there's many of us who just scratch our heads and go, where do we start? But there is always a starting point and there's an end point. And moreover, there's when you think of how many people you know, and I know, right? If, say, for instance, you and me were talking about this, there are other people that will pick this up and pick that up and pick that up. And then when the time comes to change, it will come, I think, naturally. But I truly believe that we're fucked at the moment.
Yeah. I'm dropping out of social media except for some very small groups to do with like the car. You know, I've got an older Jag, and you know, have to keep it running and advice like that. You know, for my pastime, which I can't say on here, because it might flag certain people's interest up, and that, you know, perhaps go looking through call records and the likes to get back. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm just going to have to, even like the local 20 mile per hour, because I'm in Wales. You know, there's quite a few 20 mile per hour groups against, you know, the Welsh Assembly and that. But you know, it's all a big game. You see different things going on around the world, and you're like, when's that coming to us? When's that coming? You know, like the mass world migrate going to 20 miles an hour. Because it's not just Wales, you know, there's plenty of places, perhaps not as draconian as Wales.
But Wales has tried it and it's starting to give it up, isn't it?
Yeah, they say. Honestly, hang on now. Hang on.
Well, listen, when Wales starts to lose so much money, they will do it. Mark my words. I'm serious. But they will relent on this. So
will they?
Yes, I'm 100% that they will relent. But once they relent on that, that doesn't mean that they're actually starting to see common sense. So yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah, but as I said, I do fear for my two kids. You know, it's terrible. We've had to run one kid to work today because he came home last night and he was like, there's a rumor that there's protests going to be kicking out by where he works.
That person had it right, Yuri Bezmenov. Has anybody ever heard of him?
Oh, useful idiots.
But is any right? We'll do a 1 and 2 in the comments. Has anybody heard of Yuri Bezmenov? Right. If you have, put 1 in the comments. If you haven't, put 2, and I'll run you through it.
1.
You've not heard of it?
I've heard of it. 1. I've heard of it. That's what I said. You useful idiots.
Okay. Right. This is good.
That was his phrase.
So, can anybody think of a policy that Yuri Bezmenov used to talk about that we're still going through now? Otherwise, I'm actually quite
extremes.
I am quite shocked that there's a few people that don't or haven't heard of Yuri Bezmenov. Right. Basically, Yuri Bezmenov was a Russian turncoat, if you want to put it that way. Came over to the West, that'd be us, right, and explained what their long-term plan was, which they never thought was going to happen, right? What they thought would happen is that they would infiltrate colleges, schools, and other things, and they would start to degenerate and break down the fabric of society, right? Long story short, it's happened, and they never thought it would happen. And Yuri Bezmenov, being a guy that changed from obviously the East to the West, has been the guy they've always pulled out and gone, Yuri, tell us about, the East. Anyway, the long story short is we're still in the same thing, right? So many.
But it's supported by other organisations as well now.
Well, I just see our kids being dense because it's been planned. Common purpose. What we got here? Let's have a look through the comments. East and West both. New World Order. I have to say that I believe that both East and West are playing into the banking, which is the New World Order. Evening, Row. We got nearly 600 people there. Fuck me up and down. Simon, it's me. I'm glad it's you, sweet. What have we got? We should do the call-ins.
Yeah, well, if there's other people waiting to call in, I'll get off. But yeah,
right, we'll do the call-ins. Anyway, lovely. Call back again.
I will do, Donkey.
All right, love. See you in a bit. Right. If you actually want to talk about something, call in. Otherwise, it's easy for me to go to bed. It really is. The Welsh Nutter Guy.
Hello, Simon.
Hello, my little Welsh Nutter Guy. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you managing?
I seem to be okay.
Oh, well, that's two of us then, so that we've got off to a pretty good start.
So, tell me more.
Drakeford's back.
And
he's like the nugget in the toilet that no matter how many times you flush, you can't get rid of it.
So, hang on a second. Right. Drakeford has been gotten rid of. There's somebody else, and he's back. What is his position?
He's the interim health minister.
Yeah, I'm going to trust him.
No. I don't need to remind you or your audience what happened the last time he got involved in health matters.
Seriously, just for 10 seconds, just in case there are people that haven't heard, tell me what you know.
Fire break lockdowns, people banned from even staring at non-essential items in shops, 5-mile limits that you can't go past or you'll be arrested, persecuting Cinema and Co. for not having vaccine passports, corruption, incompetence, the worst NHS in the UK. Wales is the Somalia of Britain.
So apparently, after all that, everything was all right.
Wales is now on its third First Minister in 4 months. And Drakeford's retirement lasted exactly 4 months.
So, how do you feel about Drakeford? I've got to ask.
He's such a non-entity, but a dangerous non-entity. I can't help but think of Joseph Stalin.
Can I ask you how you would, if you had to pick him against, say, for instance, Tony Blair, what would be the defining differences between the two?
Drakeford is just so grey, right, whereas Blair is so openly malevolent. You only have to look. You only have to look at his face and realise that, oh God, the Joker's in charge of the country.
But did he not have some sort of flair that the others didn't? I don't like, by the way, him. I voted for him. That's my fault, right? years ago when I knew nothing about politics and nobody come to me, right? And I was just literally living my life day to day, right?
I'll tell you the moment I knew for certain that Tony Blair was pure evil. I was nearly 12 years old.
How old are you now?
40.
Fuck me, you're 9 years younger than me.
Well, I don't feel young.
Well, anyway, get on with it. Right, so you felt young.
I was 12 years old at the time, and I think it was BBC Radio 2 were doing their equivalent of Times Person of the Year. And Tony Blair and his friends tried to rig it in his favour. And everyone found out about it, and he was disqualified, and John Major won the award. And I was thinking as a 12-year-old boy, you're about to become Prime Minister soon. Why do you care whether you win a meaningless award on Radio 2 or
bear
not?
With. Well, I just had a call there, and they were calling on the wrong number. Bastards. We could have had a four-way conversation. But anyway, look, I'm going to let you get off. I'll speak to you shortly.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If anybody else wants to ring in, I am seriously thinking about going to bed. What's time? 8 o'clock. Do you know what? That's late for me. Really is. And we've literally drunk through all the orange juice. So now it's just pure alcohol. Anyway, let's have a look through what you're saying. John Major, PC. Can anybody remember the John Major fucking mannequin they had? No rev, go to sleep. Right. Wind in the keys, back up. Yeah. Right. Nobody's calling. So at this point, I'm not needed. I will go to bed. What's a John Major mannequin? It used to be grey, and he used to literally look very square and go, more peas, Norma. That was what it was. Hello?
Hello?
How you doing?
Is that you, Shy?
It's me. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it's you. It's GeoS85 on the chat there.
I'm struggling to see because I've packed the glasses away and I've had a few beers. But go on.
I just wanted to phone up and say hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
No,
No, actually. I'm kind of pissed off.
Well, tell me.
Everything's fucking annoying.
The whole point of you calling is to tell me what's going on. What's on?
Everything's fucking pissing me off right now. It's just everything's annoying me.
So, can I ask you some questions?
Fire away, man. That's
Right.
the idea, isn't it?
I'm guessing Scottish.
Obviously.
I fucking like that. By the way, yes, I do. Are you in Scotland or are you out of Scotland?
East of Glasgow.
Right.
Basically, right on the tits edge. Yeah.
Right. Now there's us lot that actually want to come up there and have a few fucking drinks at some point, right, by the way.
You wouldn't be able to handle us, man.
I'll do my best. No, seriously, I'll do my best.
You can try.
Yeah. And if the worst comes to the worst, I'd fail. But I reckon I'd do all right. Anyway, right, so you're one of us, right? You're pissed, right? Off. I want you to ask me a question, right? Most of the Scottish people are just standard common sense people, aren't they? Yeah?
Well, it depends.
Well,
Like,
unless you get
we're completely divided in Scotland. You've got to understand there's Catholics and there's Protestants. It's like Northern Ireland. It's very similar.
Right. Now here's my problem. Mum's a Catholic, Dad was a Prot, right?
Mm-hmm.
The common sense to me is the people I want to talk to in Scotland, are they about causing more divide, or are they about fuck it, just leave us alone, just find more work for us, more trade, more industry? That's all I'm interested in, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? Because we used you for the docking and stuff, and you know, and the making chips and stuff. Like when everything was going right, we used to point at you and go, yeah, that was great. When it wasn't going so right, we just shut up, didn't we? Because that's cuntish. Right. And that's how it is.
Right, cuntish.
Cuntish.
No, well, see, most of my pals are Catholic and I'm Protestant, so there's that divide as well.
Right. Mum's
we
Catholic.
Don't all fucking.
Mum's Catholic. And
we
they
don't
come
all
from
play the tune to the fiddler, if you know what I mean.
But when I try to explain to somebody about Celtic and Rangers, they were like, you know what? I was like, oh, fucking, how do you start? Right. But you'll help me in a minute, right? So my mates over in Ireland are loyalist, right? But my mother and her family were all from Southern Ireland. The Catholics, right?
The Fenians.
Aye.
You get one team and you get the other. I know it pisses me off a lot because we're all the same.
Yeah, exactly. This is why Mum and Dad decided that we're not going to name you or give you a religion. We'll let you decide, which was kind of nice of them. But they'd be sat there in the 80s and they'd be looking at all this trouble going off in Ireland. They're going, I don't get it. Right? Mum's Catholic, Dad's a prod, and they obviously got on well. You know what I mean? And I think there were so many more people that were like that. They went, I don't get it. Or I get it, but this is silly. I studied.
It's stupid.
I studied the trouble. What I didn't study enough was Scotland and how many people have been ejected out of Ireland into Scotland. And you know, there's quite a few, isn't there?
Oh, that's hundreds.
Yes. I know these things. Yeah. And you know, their own people sold them out, and that was shit. Now,
see, I don't see that as a problem. It's something that we can overcome easily.
To be honest,
Islam's just helping us.
To be honest, Jack, right?
Islam's went here.
There won't be a Catholic Protestant problem. What there will be is we'll all stick together and go, I see that.
Fuck this mob.
But you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Aye.
And we have to be so careful about what we are talking about, right? But the Catholics and Protestants wanted to kill each other, didn't they? For how long?
Oh, it's hundreds of years. You're talking way back to 1690, obviously. That's when the Battle of the Bulge happened.
Now, tell me this.
I've got ancestors that fought that. So
no, tell me how many.
That's a long time ago.
But tell me in Scottish history, how many clans used to fight each other and then come together to fight something bigger?
Well, we kind of stopped it and it became a football team thing. It was let's play football. So we civilised ourselves out of the violence in a sense, but there was always violence anyway after the game. You know what I mean? There's always somebody drunk that fucking threw a can and started a fucking riot and whatever you have, or that kind of shit.
God, I'd love to go to Scotland now.
Usual shit.
Sorry.
Usual shit.
But it's one of those things that you look at somebody from Scotland, you look at somebody from Ireland or whatever, and there's none of this chat anymore. You just take one look and you go, do you fancy a pint? That's it. Because
let's just get pished.
We pished right up. We need to start bridging gaps, don't we?
Definitely. That's the main thing. I think that we have to do in Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, even in the Republic of Ireland, we have to.
Scotland's the biggest problem, only because, right? If you look at history, we didn't invade over this, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, right? So we've got to go up to you and go, do you want to join in or not? Because if you don't, we'll have to leave you alone, right? This is where we are.
We've got a lot of space. That's the problem, right? We've not got the problems that you've got down south, right? We've got lots of space right now. We're getting a few immigrants, but we're seeing the problems that are coming in down south, and we're fucking going, hey, wait a minute, man.
All I'll ask you to do, right?
The Irish are getting it now, and they're going, oh, fuck that shit.
What's happened to the Irish makes you look fucking medieval. Let me explain, right? And I said this years ago, right? I don't know how long you followed me for. You might have been 10 minutes or fucking a few years or whatever it is.
Oh, fucking decades.
Oh, fuck me. So, from the off, one of the
old school.
One of the early videos I put out, I was sure about it, but I was sure because I'd made this decision on the facts that I'd understood and the understanding of history. I couldn't prove it, but I just said this. I said, Ireland will take in 1 million new people from wherever it is and they won't like
no
it.
chance.
So everything
No
from
chance.
Ireland fired back at me.
Shit.
But anyway, it's happened and then some, right?
$1 million for Ireland, no chance.
Well, anyway,
I think it's maybe 300,000 they've took in the last decade, and they're already pissed off. So
let me tell you, it's $1 million and a bit. Let me tell you
Is
why.
it?
Yes,
EU ones.
right. What happened was they have when you looked at the community, they were 2/3. Now it's quarters, and yeah, it's wrecked the place. So I want to go over there, and yeah, I want to see it. And if you want to come over, that'd be great. But when I look at
my uncle lives out there, so I could just go out anytime anyway.
When I look at Scotland, you're going to face the same barriers that Ireland have, right?
No, I can just take my boat and float across if I want.
Here's the thing, right? How many times have you thought I'll be all right?
Too many, I think,
Right.
because shit is happening everywhere, and it's kind of.
Answer me this: as a Scot, as a human being, as a Christian, I'm all right. Fuck them.
No, I've never thought that because I always think about everybody else.
Exactly that. So you can't fuck off anyway, can you?
No, there's nowhere to go.
No.
And I was never asked either.
Which is why I always said, fuck it, I'm going to fight. Now.
Well, there's no other option, is there?
No.
Like, if you're invaded, then.
You know as well as I do, I'll get dragged off. And
we're like, fuck it, let's go.
You know I'm going to get dragged off at some point and gulagged or whatever. But I'm okay with that.
I'm expecting it just for a comment on the internet.
So you're going to lock people up because they didn't go along with your narrative. Fuck off. On it. Exactly. That's Starmer, isn't it? These people have to wake up very quickly. You know, the ones we were trying to kick up the ass about 20 minutes ago or fucking a year ago or 2 years ago. Like, this is coming. They're like, no, it's not. And all of a sudden it's here. These people have to start waking up quickly because they will be helpful.
They should be helpful, but they're still fucking blind. Their heads are up their asses.
Yeah, because they're young, dumb, full of cum, useless cunts that can't take any responsibility. How many times you fucked up, looked at yourself and gone, oh, that wasn't so good? I have.
Oh, I've lost count.
Yeah. When I fuck up, I go, that was a mistake. We've told an entire generation of people it's never your fault. It's going to take some.
See, I think it's fucking every weekend I wake up and go, oh no, what have I done? Well, it's a Monday.
Well, we've got 700. We've got nearly, 800 people watching. Now, we need to ask them a question. Do you want us to carry on about how we feel about things and the change? Or do you want us to talk about a different subject? If you do, I'll give you options. Right. One, if you want to carry on talking about what we're talking about, or two, if you want us to change the topic.
I want to talk about solutions. How do we resolve the issues? Fuck all the what's happening. We need to find solutions.
Right. The solution, and this is right. Let's change. The only way a solution will work is when you are in solidarity with the rest of your neighbors, right?
Or you need to recognize a problem before the solution can be created. And the nation is not recognizing a problem yet, in my opinion.
Right. We have to understand that we're in shit. Secondly, we have to make that very clear to the obvious people. After that, we have to look after ourselves. I'm looking at this, number one. People should ring in, by the way. No, anyway. I'm going to have a sip of the beer.
I'm on the cider today. Ran out of Buckfast.
Now, can you understand the Buckfast connection to Devon?
I know.
Right, anyway, Buckfast was made in Buckfastleigh in Devon, right? And they sold it, and it didn't do too well, but it went off mental in Ireland. So when you're doing Buckfast or Buckfastleigh, right, it comes from Devon. Did you not know that?
God bless the monks that make it.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking strong. Me and my mate went down there and we were like, what have you got? And they went, oh, it's either that or Buckfast. We were like, no, fuck that shit. So anyway.
I don't even get drunk with one. I need two. 2 bottles and then 10 cans.
Well, no one's perfect. Anyway, my sweet Pete, I'm going to end this and then we're going to see who's going to call in. If they don't, I'm going to bed. I'll see you in a bit.
Well,
I cut him off a bit too early. That was my fault. I'm really sorry. Right. Oh. Hello, we lovely. How are we?
All right, mate. Yeah.
Now, tell me all about it, and I can park up.
Well, I was contemplating recently, before the general election, that we weren't necessarily going to have an acceleration if Labour, well, when Labour goes, because, and I may defend my stupid position.
Matt, can I ask, before you voted, you were thinking, if I go that way, it's accelerationist. If I go that way, it's not. So what was your point in voting? And don't tell us the way you did, but what was your point in voting?
No, I don't mind. No, I was going to spoil the ballot. I was going to spoil. And eventually I voted Reform just because I looked at the candidates and I had to try to ruin it for Liam Fox because I detest that man.
Can you tell me why you don't like Liam Fox?
Because he's been about 30 years, I think, in Parliament in a unbelievably safe Tory seat. He has had his trout in the snot in the trough. Sorry.
Are we talking about the posh guy?
Liam Fox, Dr. Liam Fox. He's really quite well known. He's had scandals, and he's got away with it. He had his mate in there with him, and I think there was suggestions that he might have been a bit closer than the mate. I don't know.
Oh right.
But but I know him personally because he was mates with my old man many years ago. And anyway, and he was always, and this is before he became an MP. But he was anyway. I despise the man, so I just thought I'll give my vote to this Cypriot lad who never seen a comb in his life. I don't know if you ever saw the candidate that Reform put up for North Somerset, but he's quite funny looking. He was never going to get in, but I just gave Reform my vote in the end. But anyway, but I genuinely believe that it might not be the acceleration because Tony Blair is a smart guy and he's the puppet master in my opinion. And I thought he'd be like going to Keir, right, hang on a minute, we're in now. We're in now. Let's just keep the managed decline. You know the Tory way of doing it.
I've got a really good idea. Why don't you sit where I am? I'll go for a piss.
All right, mate.
Right, good. Because that's the first opportunity I've had.
So you want me to entertain?
I don't totally agree. I don't agree with what you're saying. Only because I've got different versions of Tony Blair. But I would love for you to say your bit, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. That's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just, I'm on delay, so I'm seeing you now. Just take your headphones off. But I wasn't convinced, and I did videos on this, and I was, in a way, I was even mocking people that were going to vote for Reform. Because I was like, Nigel Farage is a total waste of space. He's sold out. He's just a politician at the end of the day, and he's just desperate to sort of salvage a Reform, if you like, the establishment. But anyway, how wrong was I? Because Keir Starmer, two-tier Keir, has taken the very first opportunity he has had to utterly decimate any chance of, I suppose, of Labour. I mean, if anyone out there is listening, there's obviously Rev can't hear this because he's having a wee. But anyone out there that would be part of the old Red Wall, would any of the people ever consider voting Labour again? So now we've got a dilemma. If this Parliament holds up for another 4 years, will Reform be the government, or will this is the other point I was going to make, will Nigel Farage's stance on Tommy, and I know how everyone's conflicted on Tommy, will his stance on Tommy stop reform? Will there be another party that is very pro Tommy, that aligns themselves with him, taking the government from reform? I don't know. Anyway, the rest about right. I'm seeing.
Well, I was listening.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, I was waffling on a bit, and I don't know how many viewers you lost.
So,
by the way,
no, actually, it's fine. Right. So, if it was you and me, we had to vote now, right? And we had the choice between Labour, Conservative, Liberal, Green Party, or some wild party. What would you do?
Well, probably now it'll be a spoil. And I know this is unpopular with, I don't know how unpopular this is with you, but quite a few guys around Discord. If Tommy Robinson is aligned with another party, full on aligned, I would vote for that party. Doesn't mean I approve of everything Tommy, and it doesn't mean I approve of the people backing him, but he has populist support in abundance. Can
you help explain to other people? There are different levels of awakening, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
So I would be here. You might be sort of there, and there is other people that are a lot further below you, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, it is, as the Beatles said, it's a long and winding road. It's, sorry about that.
But it's, what I'm trying to say here is
the journey of awakening is mad, and I am fucking baffled at the moment.
What I'm saying is the people that wake up,
less concerned about
the people that wake up and know more than others shouldn't judge others because they were there first.
Yeah.
So when you
absolutely
say something, I'm like, okay, and I say nothing more, and I mind my own business, and I go home. The worst thing about being in part of the movement is you learn too much about the movement. And
yes, and what I see is at the moment as well is I am quite prepared to go softly on the people that are backing Tommy and other people for the time being, because when I was there during the first at Parliament Square, I was surrounded by a load of people and they weren't carrying Israel flags. None of that was going on. It was just people.
Do you remember I told you that not everybody you're going to meet is always going to be honest?
No shit.
Right. And unless it's you, me, Glyn, or a couple of others, we can't guarantee whoever we meet, can we?
No.
I've seen some stuff lately, and I'm like, you are a Fed or an agent of the state.
By the way, I can't see any of the chat. I'm on YouTube. I don't know if anyone else has got this situation. It's completely blank.
No, because it's on because you rung in. I could send you the link.
No, it's been blank before I rang in. It was just been blank the whole time.
If I send you the link, you can come join me on what they call it, StreamYard, if you want.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, we could do that if you want to carry on. I don't mind. Yeah, carry on. I've had a couple of things, but
you're not anywhere near enough, young man.
Right. Well, I get it carried on. There's levels. You were talking about these levels, so I don't know how bored everyone in the chat's getting.
I'm going to send you a link, right, young man.
Oh.
Click on that, and you'll be in. All right.
How are you sending it to me? Where will I see it?
Via Discord.
Email?
Via Discord. Now, anybody who wants to talk to me, you can get in touch with me on Discord. I put the links out. Right. The boss is now complaining. Comments fine by my end. Right. Good. Lovely. Yeah. Whenever she says no,
shall I hang up now then?
I would. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, sweet pea.
Right. Cheers, Emmy and Macca. See you in a minute.
He'll be here in 5 minutes. Anyway, great guy, right? I met him on it was when I just started. I was so interested and so enthusiastic, and as I thought, had a lot of skills. And I went, "You have to do something," and I pushed him into it, and he has. And it's not been great for him because it's caused a lot of trouble. Hello.
Oh, hello, Ref. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I just listened to your last caller, and I just want to sort of like say a few things to the audience here. And I'm just watching, sort of like I've just come off holiday, and I just sort of like watched what's gone on, like, and it's just like, what the hell? Because I've just spent like 5 days completely off, well, a week off the internet.
Could I ask you, boss, what rough age are you? You my age or older or younger?
I'm 51.
Yeah, there's not much in it, is there?
I'm 51, but yeah,
one,
so
1.5 years. Right, anyway, all right. So, you know, do you see, how do I put this? Sometimes I'll see stuff and go, that's a good egg, or that's a bad egg. Do you think our common sense will help us in the future?
I think it will, but the thing is that everything's planned out for us, and it doesn't matter where we go. Like, we can put sort of like things in the way, perhaps, but the thing is that the more that it basically, like, yeah, it's one thing that's never talked about is where the policy is being made, and that's so when we're going on, when your callers are coming through and then they're talking on governance and they're talking about Starmer, it's just Mickey Mouse. That is, the policy is way higher. And the thing is, if people do the research, like, just go to World Economic Forum and start going through the charts of what they've already planned. They've done this, like, literally, their think tanks have been at this for years and years and years.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah.
You understand about wood measurements, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's how I describe the problem we're up against, is wood measurements, right? Are we agreed on this?
We can, but we can't stop it, mate.
No,
we can't stop it.
Agreed, but
yeah.
What I would ask you is, if you go by history, and we're going thousands of years.
Yeah. I've looked at so much history, and
they've never got it right yet, have they? They've never got it right. It's always gone to tits, and they've had to start again, haven't they?
This time they've got it right.
I don't think they have. I don't think they have, because unfortunately they left everybody with a fucking.
The thing is that we all depend on money, and the thing is that when they actually do what they're going to do and leave the turmoil, what's going to be left, that basically they will have the answer, which we all know now.
Right.
Is the central banker telling us that it's blockchain?
If there's any consolation to you, I put a tenner on that it won't happen that way. Anyway, I've got Matt coming in.
Yeah.
If it's all right,
I'm going to let. There's too much. Yeah, I know, but there's been too much investment made, mate. And the thing is that they've got it down to the measure. It doesn't matter
how much money they make. Let me explain the other side of them, right? Which you might not have got, right?
Go on, because you're from Wales, mate. Like, so I've seen how.
I'm actually from Somerset, but Dad's from Wales.
I know, but the thing is, you've seen how Wales have been decimated in jobs, and the final council was it still works.
They put everybody against each other. Now, if it doesn't work this month, this year, or in 10 years, because they're in charge, it can take as long as it takes, right? So, what we're thinking is going to be a massive thing. It might not be. It might be a slow burner, right? But these people are, as you put it, in charge. However, there could be a time where we all kick off and it doesn't work like that. These people will be thrown underneath the bus, right? However,
the thing is, the think tanks have already thought of this.
Obviously,
and this is the psychology that they've already thought these plans through, and this is why they've set up the Antifas and all these other names that. So there's been one on Farage today. If you actually look, well, you probably do know, but all those people have been paid for, sponsored by the people who are creating.
Right, most of the people you see, right, like the Farages of this world, are bought and paid for.
Control opposition, absolutely.
The only people that are not bought and paid for.
The thing is, all they got to portray with the sheep now, because the sheep are the majority.
I want you to go back and watch Farage make a speech in 1994, 95. He was just a little tool back then, and he was very shit at making speeches.
He's been brought into Parliament now, like, for his job.
He's just a job.
To make people believe. People believe. And this is the psychology they play all the time. It's psychology that's being played.
But
like the mind control that's done in 2020.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
It is interesting because the thing is that when you think
can I ask you, at your age, I don't know what age,
yeah.
I'm 49.
I never thought like this a year ago. It's just basically like more knowledge.
As you've learned what you've learned, what age are you now?
Yeah, 51.
Fuck me, you're doing better than me. So, do you trust Nigel Farage?
I don't trust anyone because they've got a job to do.
Correct answer. Yeah.
They've got a job to do, and that's their job. Their job is to basically keep
sell
the
their own
people,
out.
like your last guest, keep them believing in a reform that's never going to happen. Never happen. The thing is that this is going to go forward, and people just look. If we're going to look after ourselves and figure out what they're planning next, it's all there on the World Economic Forum. Every single detail of this. So if that's everything is laid down.
I have to ask, if that's the case, I know it, you know it.
Yeah.
How do we go forward? Because I go forward quietly, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I have enough people that are interested in me now that I could be quiet and say nothing, and then talk to other people and say nothing. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I understand. I understand why we're all here and why we're all having debate. But the thing is that people have to come away from this governance that basically doesn't exist. It's all clown world.
Matt. Yeah. I got a slightly different thing to say about Nigel Farage, and I have been on his case. I have been slagging the guy off, and I've had loads of people upset with me when I've had to go at reform. But I do believe Nigel Farage knows the system, he knows the establishment, and he is wedded to it, and he's clinging on in there because I think he actually believes that he can be the leader and reform it and reverse it a little bit and bring it back a little bit to what his utopian view. No, I believe that about Nigel Farage. Believes that. I don't think Nigel Farage is evil. I don't think he is part of it. I think he's just holding on to this view that is impossible because it's gone. I'm just saying. I think he does think there's a reform in there.
I would love people to think that, and to be honest with you, I used to think that probably 6 months ago, but my attitude has totally changed now.
Oh, sorry, Calder. I don't think it. I'm just saying I think Nigel Farage thinks that.
Like Alan Watts cutting through the matrix has been absolutely diamond, and I sort of try to go off and try to think he's not right, but he's been spot on. There's another guy called Mark Windows. Okay. He goes into so much on psychology. It's mind blowing. Basically, we are in a prison, mate. We're in a prison, and until everyone realizes the prison we're in, then we can just sort of let it go and just say, well, that was a wasted fucking energy.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got any good news. I'm just saying that I think everything falls down. I think we're going to head towards a civil war of some sort, whatever they call it, troubles. And there'll be something to rebuild with.
So, Matt, people have said, let somebody else speak, which I quite like speaking to him, actually, to be honest. Do you want to call back in about half hour? Is that right?
Is that myself?
Yes, you. Yeah, because
I'll speak to you.
What it is, they want to vary in conversations before I actually flake out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realise we was on to the next the previous caller. Sorry about that.
We've done quite well, actually.
No, you've done all right. You've done.
Yeah, I didn't realise we was in a freeway.
So do us a favour, call in again.
Well, it's my first three-way, especially with two boys.
Fuck off!
He's left out there.
Anyway, take care. Right? Jesus Christ, you got to answer the next call. No, you absolute.
Cross it over. I'm nodding. But,
right, you want to talk to us? There it is. We've cleared the phone lines.
It's got to be not having it, isn't it?
Your job. Hello, how you doing?
Want to talk to us? There it is. We've cleared the phone.
Right, you're gonna have to pause what's going on behind us because that's really bad.
Hello, Simon. Can you hear me?
I can. How you doing, Sweet Pea?
Not bad, mate. I talked to you a few months ago, if you remember, about these
little
lifting
fucking
people.
sweet pea.
I
Oh,
recognise this voice.
I do like fucking hearing from you, you little cunt. Right, anyway, you all right?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yeah, I'm just, I'm fuming over the last week about this Starmer bastard.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, to be honest, mate, tell us what you're thinking. Get off your
Right,
plate.
well, I think.
Oh, by the way, remember the
rules
rules as well, because otherwise you get me killed.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. I'm going to be polite as best I can.
Go on then. Send it.
I would like this absolute Marxist pig. Right, to be honest, when he says far right, what he really should say is be honest and say working class people.
Yep.
White working class.
Was it Norman common sense? Honestly, it doesn't look like it's good for us. We don't think that's a good idea. That's far right. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, some of these poor people, I see a young 18-year-old guy, right? He was just standing there because he was wearing the same clothes and looked like someone who might have done something. He was refused bail and remanded in custody.
So what was it? He was just fucking a little different.
He wasn't doing anything. He walked away when things kicked off. The police arrested him and said...
do you know what they were saying? He gesticulated. You know what that means, don't you? He was just throwing his arms around, right?
He weren't even doing that, Simon. He was just there looking. His sister said, you better come home. And he come home and they arrested him.
So tell me this. Was he just a sacrificial lamb?
Well, I think there's a lot of...
What I'm trying to say is, right, is they just made a fucking episode out of him to piss everybody off and put everybody off.
Well, that's what they're doing, mate. What they're doing is, right, they're trying to make an example of the poor people, because if they plead not guilty, they wouldn't be jailed.
Cunts.
And if you notice, that Labour councillor who said cut people's throats, he's been arrested and remanded, but he hasn't been sentenced.
Such a lesser charge, mate. You can walk.
But he's a granddad. He's a granddad and he loves his grandchildren. So what's the problem?
Well,
don't you care about
that bastard? Right, he should get 4 years if you look at it.
I'm just saying that was the media narrative, wasn't it? They were like going.
The media narrative was he didn't understand. He was fucking pure fury. And that was
he loves his family.
Like, I tell you what, the guy's a cunt, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question, right? And I want you to be deadly sensible, right?
Right.
Do you think that he felt bad towards us all the time, or do you think he was stirred up? Personally, I think there's agitators in there. I've seen a video. No, just him, just him, right? Was he always hating us, or was he just stirred up in the moment? I think he was stirred up in the moment.
Are you talking about Starmer? Or are you
talking about what are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
The guy that said the bad thing.
Ricky,
right?
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
You talking about the Labour councillor?
Yeah. I don't like him, right?
No, what he's thinking is what all Labour people think about us anyway.
There's a fair fucking chance of that, but I have to say that I think he was
That's a fact, mate.
I think
that's a fact.
Now listen, do you reckon he was stirred up?
70s.
Do you reckon he was stirred up by the passion of all those other cunts?
Yeah. A little bit.
No.
Well, listen.
He was saying what he thinks, and why the fuck is he in charge of a scout group?
Well, I was kind of hoping you was going to fucking say this, all right? The guy's a cunt, isn't he? All right?
Yes.
The man works. He gets a full-time paid job with a union. He works. He's a thing with a scout movement and the sea cadets in his area. I'm not going to say what I think he is.
Could an average guy do a better job? I'm asking you because I don't know what he has to do.
Well, I don't know what he does with the scouts. I mean, I don't think I'd want to be interested in scouts or sea cadets.
I don't think so.
You know, I mean, it's a bit strange to me. Someone in their 50s wants to be involved with young teenagers.
But he's not just involved in that. There's so many organisations he's involved in, and I think they've. I
don't know how many he's involved with, mate.
Quite a few.
What these lefties do, these lefties haven't been working class since at least the 70s.
Right up their fucking shitter, son.
Power to the people.
No, I wasn't power to the people there.
So. No, I was.
Oh, well done. Yeah. No,
can I add a thought? I don't know much about it. I think the caller knows a lot more about it than I do. But I'm wondering whether he's just somebody that's so used to being able to say whatever they want to say and be completely...
Yeah, because they're so entitled. They think they can say what they like because they're right and we're fucking wrong.
I think he just thought he could say whatever he wants to say, and it doesn't matter because...
Could I just be a cunt here, please? The guy is an absolute...
You can be a cunt.
Go on, I fucking will. But,
yes, you can, yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. The guy's an absolute monumental fucking prick, right? He's actually fucking buried himself in all these other organisations to make sure that black people are looked after. Fucking black people are fine, right? Shut up.
I think there's also a thing about impulse.
I've finished.
And there was an ethnicity.
Oh, I didn't say nothing about black people.
Impulses.
Well, he had, right? Now, let me finish.
Oh, he did, yeah. But listen, mate, when I grew up in the 60s and 70s, going to school, I was mixing with them guys and we got on fine.
Do you remember Two-Tone? I didn't know anything about Two-Tone, right?
The special.
I had to
listen, mate, I was the original skinhead in 1969.
Good point. Now, listen, I had to learn it in the 20s, right? I didn't know anything about Two-Tone. I went, so you're telling me that them skinhead cunts were great friends with the blacks? They went, yeah, it's Two-Tone. I went, well, fuck me.
I think with the black guys.
I was the original boy in 1969. I was, and we was all together. We loved the music, we loved the clothes, and that was it.
Yeah,
you know what, Simon? I used to get pulled up every day by the police going to school in 1970 because I was dressed like a skinhead.
Do you know what? I knew nothing about any of this, right? And I still don't know anything, right? I've come from a real quiet area, right? And it's like, fucking, you got to learn a lot here, boy.
Well, you still like the Wurzels?
Yes.
It's true. I like them too.
Yeah. Them fuckers. Fucking... I grew up with separates as well, and I loved them. They're great people.
Let me tell you something, right?
I was a Dave fan.
When I was a kid, right, I was born in 75, and mum and dad had this taxi business from 72 to 82, right, which was in the centre of Weston, opposite, and there was this place called the Stage Door, which was owned by a Greek Cypriot guy called Uncle Tom. It was Uncle Tom to me because I didn't know any better. Anyway, we used to go over there, right, every now and again, and we were being massively treated. And they went, what do you want? I went, I'll have scampi, right? My brother said, I don't know what he said he'd have, right? And mum would have spag bowl, and dad would have moussaka, right? So we'd eat this, but before this lot was cooked, I used to want to know how it worked. So I wandered down through the kitchen. It was all cardboard on the floor because obviously that sucks up. And Uncle Tom, massive sideburns, bigger than the Mary Rose, right? These fucking sideburns were impressive. And I looked up to him as a god, right? And this was in white Western, where there was no black people, no foreigners, right? And my dad was like, I'm conservative. I'm like, no, I think you're fucking liberal, but whatever. Anyway, I have just bumped into Uncle Tom's daughter 40 years later. Yeah. Anyway, I don't care what fucking colour you are. If you're a fucking good egg, you're a good egg. If you're not, you're a cunt, and I don't like you. That's where I stand. I can't.
You're exactly right, mate. That's exactly right.
I can't make my point any. Do you know, if some fucking black guy come up to me, right, and was absolutely lovely, I'll be like, right, I'm staying the rest of the night with you. Lean on him, get drunk. That'll be it. I don't care.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Simon. Can I tell you something, mate? When I was 15, because I was growing up in Tottenham at the time, right, in London, and
you know,
called what was it called? Oh, I can't remember it. By Tottenham Garage.
Did they have the rights?
Tottenham Garage. There used to be all black guys in there. Me and my mate Steve used to go in there, and we'd have a few pints when we were 15. And the old black guys would be playing their reggae in there. We got on great, no problem.
Do you know what? When I was 24, 23 or whatever it was, there were some nutter women I knew, right? Anyway, it took us down to Bristol, right? Because I go from Western.
I've been to Bristol, mate. I was in the army. Some girls are bad.
Well, they led us down this back street, like, you know, like it's backfield and not been dug out yet, and it's a building site. Right? So we were like this. And I'm off my face anyway, because of the reasons. Right, and I've gone in this place, and all you see is boys paying draft. And I'm like, so I've gone to the bar and it was all in cans. I'm like, could I have a Stella, please? They were, yeah, sure. Just drank Stella and watched these boys play dominoes. And I was like, that's all right by me. Anyway, yeah. Can't go back there now.
You was born a bit too late. If you was born a couple of years earlier, mate, like me, you would have mixed with them guys and we had a great time. There was no racial problem at all, really.
No, I wouldn't have mixed with them because the reasons, right? My parents wanted us to be middle class.
Well, yeah,
No,
but listen, my dad was
obviously
in the
did
war and all
fucking-
that, and they've got a different attitude to. I remember my dad, my stepmother. Well, I didn't get on with her, but anyway, my mate Andy, who's a Cypriot, come and knock to my door.
Listen,
I don't want that person coming around here again.
They just said this fucking caller is top geezer. Go on. Now, basically, my parents and my grandparents looked at me as if they were going to be one way, right? I can't help the way I am, right? And I am this way, right? No matter how much they fought against it, they went, I'm not too bad on a horse, but no, fuck them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but at the end of the day, right, our parents, right,
I
was
want to give
brought
you
up
a
in
cuddle.
different world.
I want to give you a cuddle. I just feel like
I want to give you a cuddle, Simon, because you're brilliant, mate.
No, I'm not.
And I keep up the good work because we need to keep our heads together here because don't give these bastards they want going out smashing things up. Get like that hate not hope geezer, Nick something.
Lols.
He put out a tweet last week in Manchester or Birmingham saying white people's throwing acid in people's faces. And he put up a tweet afterwards saying, well, it was false, but it worked, didn't it? We can all come out. So why ain't he nicked?
I don't want to talk anymore about that. All I think is that time will look after itself. Look at me.
Yeah, well, I think most people are sensible like us, mate.
Yeah. I can't say what I think, but I know that guy is going to be thrown under the bus by the people that he thinks he represents.
He needs to be like that Labour councillor.
Trust me on this. You remember when you were part of a gang? If you fucking shit on that gang, you were thrown under the bus.
I was never in a gang.
Right, fine.
We had a crew. We called ourselves a crew.
He's temporarily there doing what he's doing, thinking it's going to make him better. They will throw him under the bus. And at some point, right, it'll take somebody like you who go, don't do that to him. You're giving them what they want. So,
well, I'm telling you what I'm thinking myself, Simon, right? Because, I'm more or less retired. I do a bit of window cleaning, but I'm retired. And now I'm going to make my mission to dig out these bastards and copy what they said and then report to police. Oh, I've got to tell you a bit of news. I did report Commissioner Mark Rowley for criminal damage and common assault.
To the microphone.
To the microphone.
I don't know if you saw that thing.
So Mark Rowley,
when he threw the microphone on the floor.
Is that the guy, the one that threw the microphone down?
Yeah.
Yeah. I phoned up Scotland Yard last night and made a formal complaint.
He was asked about what he thought about two-tier policing, and he just went.
They give me a number anyway, so you'd have to see.
Right, cool.
They try to make it. It's not. You're not reporting a crime. You're reporting a crime, a complaint against the police. I goes, no, I'm reporting against this geezer.
Right, sweet Pete. I'm gonna get off the call. I'm gonna either see what the people have got to say, or I'm gonna get a bed. You all right with that?
Okay, mate. Nice to speak to you, Simon. And cheer up, mate. Don't worry, we will win.
I'm not too bad. All right, sweet Pete. Right, Matt.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Oh, I don't think I can tell anyone.
There were things that were boiling your piss. Right.
Hang on.
We'll deal with this. All right.
Right. So
I actually want to get to the point where we're talking. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Simon.
How you doing?
I phoned you a couple of months ago and I wanted to talk about the weather.
I remember. How are you?
Right. These rights. I should start with that, shouldn't I?
Well, we'll just breeze over things, but what's boiling your piss?
What's boiling my piss? Hello, guest. I don't know your name.
That's my mate. I that's my very good mate, actually.
Oh,
Shut
What's
up.
boiling
Shut
my
up,
piss
Matt.
is Steve.
I get emotional now when you say stuff.
Shut up, Matt. Right. The thing is with Matt, right? He's looked after me for a long while, right, and not done anything.
Right.
He's always there when you know when somebody needs to ring you.
Yeah.
You're a tough guy. You're on your own, or whatever, and somebody rings you and goes, "You're right." You're like, "Oh, no, I'm not." Actually,
I do that.
No, I understand. I really
this
understand,
guy's
Sam.
hard as fuck, right?
Bad world. It's a bad world.
He's wanted to speak to me a load of times, and I'm going to have to be honest in front of him and a load of other people.
Well, at least you're accepting help. I tried to help people. He pushed me away.
No, it's going to be worse now. I'm going to be honest, right? There's so many times I wanted to see him and I've gone, I can't cope because I'm not feeling too good. And I wanted to be with him and I wanted to go out for a drink or have a coffee or want to do all these things. And he's contacted me and I'm like, I'm not skilled for this and I'm not very well. Which, if I'd have been anybody normal, I'd have been fine, and we'd have gone out, we'd have done that. But he's persistent. But yeah, I'm a flawed cunt.
Mental health. My wife's been on citalopram for years, and she's come off them now.
No, he's
the
one guy that when he says, "Do you want to go out?" I'm like, I feel really bad about being me. All right, but I want to be with him because. I just want to cuddle the cunt. That's kind of where I am, right?
I'll pop over.
Well, good for you.
But this guy, it's like you want to try and like look after him and shade him from all that shit. You know, all the rest of the shit.
Don't be like that. He looks like he looks after you. Looks like a father figure.
No, he is the guy that could actually look after me. Yes.
Oh.
Cool. Right. Everything got to be round now.
After he got a very soft,
if you don't
move on,
have you got any idea what's going on in my head now? Have you?
Yes, I understand. I've been watching you. Right, but listen, Simon, my rant says, right, I don't give a shit about what's going on with the riots and all that. All what they're trying to do, to me, it looks like they're trying to create a divide to piss people off, to bring the digital ID in and all that shit.
How many times
I can see all these cameras going up every day.
Look at your history. How many times have they done this?
Yeah. I can see all the cameras going up, all these little white cameras going up on lampposts. To tell me why. Look at that one. Look at that. I can see this.
Can I ask you to do something?
Go on.
Right. Go through your history. Poll tax riots, the 1984, and all the other things like the no going to war, the weapons of mass destruction. Right. If you can get all these and go, look what happened. Nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you get somebody who's enthusiastic about it, you go, we're not going to get anything. The entire purpose of us doing what we're doing is to make other people feel the same as us. That's the reason, right? When you protest, they don't give a fuck. They're not even there. No. And if they're there, they're like, oh, fuck.
Not asked. I look at when Tommy Robinson was doing all these protests, I was thinking.
So do you like Tommy Robinson or do you not like Tommy Robinson?
Well, I'm seeing different stuff about Tommy Robinson.
Well,
the thing is, Sam, I don't trust anyone. I question everything myself.
But let me tell you what Tommy Robinson is. Tommy Robinson told me all about what was going on with the Red Gangs.
Yeah.
He turned me from being a bloke that just drank to a bloke that drinks and does fucking lots of mistakes. No, if you look at this, right, I wouldn't have done any of this without him explaining they're doing this. It's not fair. Now, I don't care who he is paid by or if he is paid by anybody. I don't care.
Yeah.
He's told me enough. Now, where I decide to direct myself at this point, that's my choice, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I've got to work people out myself. What's gone on over the past couple of years? I've got to.
You need to come to me for a cuddle.
Can I ask the caller about his
looks like you'd kill me.
No, I will bring you down, young man.
You were talking about Tommy.
Hang on a second. Matt,
yeah, I'm just saying.
Ask you
again. About Tommy, I was just wondering about your history of it. Like, you know, from how long ago were you first aware of him? How you felt about it then? Has your opinion changed?
I'd say a couple of years, but it's like you see stuff on. I don't pay my TV license. Obviously, I don't watch live TV.
Good for you. Good for you.
I don't support paedophiles and propaganda and lies and shit. But I see different stories about him. I'm like, I'm trying to make my mind up. Yeah. I do. I'd say I'm like 80% Tommy.
I want to ask you a question.
I'm similar.
If somebody's doing something that takes balls, right? Is it a good bloke or is it common man?
Huge balls.
I'd say it takes balls, but I would. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'll show you a picture when I was walking around with him when he was doing the MEP thing, and we all got called Mr. Fucking Black, Mr. White, Mr. Pink, whatever. That guy has no fear, none, over anything. He doesn't want to look bad, but he doesn't have any fear over you hitting him because he likes to fight.
No fear.
I'd say, Simon, he's done more for this country than what the politicians have done.
Oh God, more good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Politicians have done more harm, but yeah, more good.
Yeah, I'd say that. But my main rant is all this stuff that's going on now with these marches. I think it's all a massive smokescreen with what's going on in Ukraine, Iran. I think they're hiding everything from people.
Right. So, to the viewers, do you want me to pack it in, or do you want a new caller, or what? We're skitting between 900 and 992 to 1,000. So
that's an interesting.
Yeah, you can skip it, Simon. I'm going to listen in on your channel anyway. So I'm just saying that's my main rant. I think it's a massive smoke.
There's always some distraction. There is always a distraction. I'm not sure I agree on that one. You know, because I think this sprung up out of, well, not out of nowhere, but it was simmering away. It was always going to happen, but I don't think anyone knew when it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you. People are just pissed. I don't think it was down to the Southport thing, the children in Southport. I think that was the tipping point, and people just got pissed off.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, fuck it.
And especially their reaction to it. And Keir Starmer's
I think the media now are just playing as like a fucking fiddle.
Well, and Keir Starmer's reaction was that the riot was worse than the atrocity. What a cunt.
Yeah, I still think there's bigger stuff going on in the background that they're hiding from us. They don't want us to see. Like I spoke to Simon the other month about what they're doing in the fucking skies. The massive food shortage is going to come.
Why is China building?
You know, it's fucking ridiculous. All these countries like China and India are stocking up with all this food, and we're getting fuck all. And you look at the yields from the farmers this year, and we're still on last year's produce. We're fucked. Yeah. And they're hiding it all from us. I mean, every Saturday morning I go to my local farm and I buy raw milk and I speak to that farmer. He's fucked because he can't even get feed for his fucking cattle for the winter. Wow. It's all, you know, it's bad, but shit, what's going on?
Right.
Fuck. Wow, that's depressing.
It is. It is
true. It's true. It's like you bury your head in the sand a bit.
I want to try and give you some good news, but I can't.
Oh,
go on. Give me some good news, Simon. How's your day been, buddy?
It's absolutely fucking blitheringly quick. I've put some other people that actually think they could drive.
What?
Oh. No, he's tried to kill every fucking one of them. My BM.
Do you think you should?
No,
you should have bought an X Drive.
No, I love it. It's a two-wheel drive. It needs LSD, but it's not got any.
Is that your
120 mile an hour? It's still trying to spin one wheel.
That is.
And how's the job going? But in the truck, because I've seen the management thing, and you're pissed off with that.
Now it's the vehicle's 380 brake, and the job's a cunt. Right. Anyway,
you've got to pay your bills, haven't you?
No, he's actually tried speaking to me, and I'm like.
Fuck him. So, just keep your head down, do your job, pay your bills, get on with it.
Do you know what really pisses me off? That the guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, this is it. We all work with fucking idiots, don't we?
You want to speak to him. So, how do you feel about the Keynesian fucking economics? And you're like, what?
Well, do you know what, Simon? Where I work, I don't know whether I should say this, but where I work, we've got a big, massive, one of the top tier companies coming round on Monday and Tuesday. And my company are panicking that they're coming round, and I think it's fucking hell. They make chocolate bars and they make cereal.
Is that up towards Gloucester?
No, I live in the northwest near Liverpool.
Did they used to have a base down in Keynsham by any chance?
No. Anyway, right.
But this company is visiting at one of them at the top of the chain. They're the bastards, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm in tomorrow. I'm in on Monday, and I think it's fuck me.
So, Matt,
keep your mouth shut.
Do you want to stay out, or do you fancy, or should we just go to bed? Anyway, we're not together, obviously. Matt, if you want Matt to stay out, put one in the comments, please.
See, I can't.
Why don't you go to the pub?
No, I'm not. I'm actually in front of my computer, but I realise I'm absolutely bladderingly pissed.
You've been on.
Mate. Right, Simon, I'll let you go.
Being drunk, by the way.
I am. Right, I'll let you go, Simon, and guest. See you later, Matt.
Well, give us a love. Nice
talking. Right? See you later, boys. Ta-da. Ta-da.
Oh, yeah. It does.
Now, my little sweet pea. How are you?
We got another caller.
No, not yet.
Oh, I had some good news.
Go on.
I had ingrowing hair on my nutsack, and I think it's gone.
Did nobody drag that out?
I think it's just gone. I was like, I was trying to take care of it every now and again.
No, I'm so impressed.
I don't know if that's alienated me from the chat or not.
Right, you can answer this conversation, can't you?
I can. Yeah, if you answer the phone, I can't.
Yep. Well, ready? Right. As soon as I answer it, which will be 1, 2, 3, you say hi.
So disappointed.
1, 2, 3.
Good evening, caller. You're through to Winston Smith here. Rev is too pissed to talk to you. How you doing?
Oh, fair enough. I'm good, thanks, mate.
What's your name, mate?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
you. I'm not that pissed anyway. We was just taking a piss. Anyway, you all right?
Hey, Rev. Yeah, how's it going? I've been following your channel for a while, and I just wanted to say, just thank you, to be honest.
Can I ask you a dumb question? What are you thanking me for? Just being honest.
I wanted to share some thoughts, to be honest.
Yes,
just about my own experiences and just really the overall strategy we've got at the moment, I don't think is going to work in the long term.
There's a strategy.
Yeah, well, so right now, everything that we do on like the big main channels that are essentially aggregating all our data. They're monitoring us and they're shutting us down before we can get anywhere. And I just don't think that any political movement can get off the ground while we're essentially contained. So take YouTube, for instance.
I get it.
Right. Can you remember the fall of the Berlin Wall?
I'm not that old, I'm afraid.
Yeah, there's nothing more insulting than that. Anyway, just kidding. Anyway, look, the fall of the Berlin Wall wasn't expected by the people that own the Berlin Wall or the people that fucking took down the Berlin Wall, right? Now, all they did was show up. They were told that other people would be killed if they did something, but other people were more leery. And it got to the point where they sent the message through to the guards. They went, you might want to open up the gate, right? So there were loads of people that in the old days would have been executed, right? Well, they would have been persecuted, right? That showed up, right? And that was 1989. These people showed up in mass. What I'm trying to say is you can't legislate or work out for people who are hard done by. You can't.
I think the situation's a bit different at the moment. And I say that because I've started looking at it, and I think that where we are now and where we're going, it's been planned for a very long time.
Anyway, so can I ask before we go any forward, what are you into? What's your thing?
What do you mean?
No, I mean, everybody has a thing, right? Matt's into cooking. I'm into not working as well.
Like a personal hobby, a personal interest.
I like tech.
You like what? Tech
programming, just general tech stuff.
Okay, I get why you feel like there's a lot of doom, because obviously the deep state, if you like, or the whatever you want to call them, they do seem to have the upper hand, don't they, on monitoring and tech? They definitely do. Do you think though there's a point where you can push a people to the point where they've got nothing to lose, and then it doesn't.
Does anybody want a new caller?
Oh, that's a bit early.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is he's relaxed, and we can actually deal with him after the caller.
All right.
Should I hang up or?
No. What you should do is involve yourself with us, and we'll look after you.
Yeah. So basically, I reckon from strategy, right, we're reacting to everything they're doing. Now, I'm not saying like in terms of we do anything like illegal, about anything like that, but I'm talking in terms of like how we organise and how like reach out to people. I get that it's very difficult right now. Like, so people have this fear. I've spoken to people I thought would be like massively left leaning when like, and I've casual conversations have sort of turned to politics and people I didn't expect.
Before we go any further, right? We'll have this conversation when we're on our own, right? Now, people are trying to ring through, so I have to, unfortunately, I'll speak to you shortly. Oof, I hate doing this, but it is what it is. Hello?
Oh, hello?
How you doing?
Hi there. I'm trying to get through to Simon Sideways.
Well, try
Rev on a rant.
If you can't get through, I'll talk to you. All right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rev on a rant's a bit further down, but if you're all right, I'll talk to you now.
Yeah, okay. Geez, I've been in touch with Simon through Facebook, sending messages and that now and again. I'm not all that tech savvy.
Out of interest, what was your point in wanting to speak to him?
Well, I just cut a bit of it stuff earlier on this evening. Now you're talking about Islam and that, and it's not pointed out at all.
There's a lot of background noise.
They never put out. I'll tell you the 2 points.
All I can hear is me in the background. All right, can you turn that down?
Okay, I don't. I'll knock the sound off because I've got the YouTube thing right there. Knock the sound off. Is that it?
Yep, that's great.
Nice.
Great, right. Here you go. Here's the 2 points. The first one said quite a few times when people slag off Islam, and they reply, Islam is not a race. Quite correct. But the second point, this is the main point. It's never ever been said. And I'll put this to Farage, Douglas Murray, various folk. Now, I've sent the evidence down to them. And it's this. Muhammad, if he ever existed, was in fact a white man. Do you know that?
Well, he was from the Middle East, though, right? If he existed, he was from the Middle East, right?
He's from the Middle East, but he was a white man. There's plenty of descriptions of him in the most sacred texts.
I disagree.
They talk about the whiteness of his shin, the whiteness of his...
No, hang on a second. If he came from the Middle East, unless he was a fucking total freak, he was a man of color.
No. Listen. There's tribes out there. There's a tribe out there.
There might well be. But at the end of the day, unless they were anemic, it wasn't going to work.
No, they did take slaves.
He's a white man. The whiteness of his skin and everything else. So why the heck should we kowtow down to this white man's ideology? You remember you heard of Lawrence of Arabia?
Yes.
Right?
I've heard of a
World
decent
War I.
lawn sausage.
Huh?
I've heard of a decent lawn sausage. Now I'm hungry as well. Yeah.
Lawrence of Arabia. T.E. Lawrence.
Yes.
He kicked off the Arab Revolt in 1915 in World War I. Right? T.E. Lawrence was a blue-eyed, blonde-haired Aryan, yet he could walk about Turkish lines doing his reconnaissance.
Anyway, should we move on?
Bothered. So there's a white tribe out there.
If Muhammad was white, anyway, what would be the?
Well, they always come out with the racism business.
All right.
So he's not being racist. It's a perverse, degenerate white man's ideology.
There's more white supremacy.
Yeah, bear that in mind.
Sounds like
what's that? Another one. I've got the top book. Everything's Islam. It's the Quran. That's the book, but it's not. There's a book above the the Quran, and that's called Reliance of the Traveller. This is the Sharia law book, right? This is the top book. This is the book on Sharia law. And what's it right? Section O, verse 12.3, page 610.
Right. Let's get to the point. Is there
they won't translate it into English. They won't translate it into any language because they are embarrassed by it all.
I think
this
you know a lot about this,
necrophilia and bestiality.
Right, excellent.
Because,
right, I'm going to finish up. Right,
I was just getting good then. I wanted to hear about the necrophilia.
I'm not fucking interested. I'm completely against that shit.
Don't knock it until.
Sake, Dave.
That was dark. That was dark.
Yeah, great. This is what I've got to put up with. Be nice.
Are we going to talk about bestiality again?
I don't know. We haven't had a fuck all.
Who's the caller?
All right.
Hello, caller. You through to?
Hello.
Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Fucking hell. Excellent.
Yeah. How are you? All right?
Oh, just living the dream.
What do you want to talk about, caller?
Yeah. I want to talk about a bit of Starmer. As I say, it gets on my nerves. Absolutely.
Oh yes.
It's all yours.
What do you?
Yeah,
what do you?
problem.
Are you a fan or not?
And definitely not. Definitely not. As I say, it's probably well known that he's, as I say, he was a lawyer for Blair back in the day in '97, and he sort of signed the ticket off to open our borders up. And since then, he, as I say, the Labour went through 3 terms, and then obviously they went out. Tories came in, and all our austerity came in. Cameron bought all the austerity in, and then to pay for all what Blair had opened the doors to, they fobbed it off as cutting back on health service and everything. And as I say, 3 Tory terms with all the sleaze towards the end and all the cutbacks, obviously, and all the shitty prime ministers. And now Starmer's back in saying he's got a £20 billion deficit. And all the shit that's gone on in the last 3 weeks, and and to me, he's the one that started it all off with Blair.
So, caller, how long do you think Starmer holds this parliament together? This particular parliament? Do you think he takes?
I'm surprised if they'll last it till Christmas because the public have seen through him already.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about the Christmas thing, but I definitely don't think he gets 4 years.
No, definitely not. No, it's as I say.
Who do you think turns on him first? Who takes power of the Labour Party? Would it be the Islamists or Marxists? Or?
Well, I mean, there's not none of them are really. They're all up his arse. So theoretically, they might. To me, the king gets the government back in and calls for another election.
King,
because the king's already had a word with him this week.
Do you think the king's actually like
sort your house out?
I mean, who's King taking his orders from? The WEF?
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, there's always a higher tree above there, so there's always somebody higher up pushing the buttons in there. You know, I mean, we all know that.
Yes, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, as I say, I've tried it endless times to get in touch. I'm a big fan of Simon's. You know, I've been following him for 2 or 3, 2 years now at least. As I say, glad to get in touch. But as I say,
the limitations.
It's tricky to get through.
The last 2 years, since Starmer's got in the last 2 or 3 weeks, especially since all the riots and everything. As I say, the country's in turmoil at the moment.
When I called in earlier and then he made me come on the stream, I was saying that I wasn't sure that Starmer was going to do the whole acceleration thing and go mental. I thought he might have been a bit more clever because of Tony Blair. But then I suppose we didn't know that the riots were going to happen. But since the riots happened, he's mental. And he's absolutely gone for it.
It's not that he's gone for it. It's as if he didn't have a plan. It's as if he's had his honeymoon. It's as if his honeymoon period was going to be nice and easy. But then he started changing things like the pensions. You know, I've got to save money. I've got to chop money. I've got to save money. And he hit it straight away where he hurts at the pensioners straight away, and he hit it straight away at the
I didn't know that because I don't pay attention. I hate him.
Yeah, as I say, he's scrapped the winter fuel prices for the pensions. I mean, what an arsehole.
Starmer and Gaddafi.
Yeah, as I say, there's not much comparison at the moment.
Now, let's talk about Gaddafi, and let's talk about
Starmer getting the Gaddafi treatment. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
as I say, it's unbelievable how, you know. I mean, there's never been such a an eventful start to a prime minister's premiership. To be fair,
yeah,
it's.
I mean, I suppose.
Anybody else
might have had
anybody else listening? Anybody else there? I mean, you know, just piling on Starmer, and just keep the faith. And I'm sure there's plenty of people waiting to get in. And Simon, hope you can stay awake.
He's struggling.
There's not much chat, is there?
Yeah,
exactly. He's flagging. He's flagging at the moment. So
if he nods off, we'll just keep going.
Yeah,
I
get
had some thoughts actually earlier on, but we'll let you get on.
Yeah, all the best to you, Simon, and have a great one.
Nice one, mate. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Yeah, I can't answer calls if you nod off, can I?
No.
It'll just be ringing. it'll be the most fun ever.
Not having it, right? Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. Actually, I'm gonna go for a wee. Oh, all right. No,
go for a wee. Go for a wee.
You hear that?
Yeah, I do need a wee.
Right, Pete.
I've run in so you and Matt can talk.
We don't need to go to bed together, mate. One of us needs to go to bed. That's it. That's where I am. I was thinking about you when you rang in. I'm thinking, yes, I can think of fucking things.
And I'm Ansar Gaddafi a better person than Keir Starmer by far.
Right. So you're a better person than Keir Starmer or Gaddafi, right? What was your choices?
My choice is that Gaddafi was taken out of power because he was trying to create his own currency, and the CIA didn't want that.
I really quite liked Gaddafi, and anyway, moving on. Anyway, so
I rang in because, well, quite clearly, you and Matt need to chat, and I will tear the line up for X amount of time while you and Matt chat.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to bed.
Well, go to bed.
Right, I will. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Bye. Anyway, right. So I think it's time that, or should we go and have a look at some other thing that's going on and wind it up? There is part of me that fancies causing a little bit of mischief somewhere else. I bet I know where I can find that. Hello.
We thought I'd catch you before you went. How you doing, Simon? You good?
Not too bad. A bit tired, so it's off to bed.
Oh, I hear you, mate. Just a few questions. Someone like Nigel Farage is a no-no, right? It's pretty clear.
How do you feel about him?
I heard what Winston was saying about what he believes. Go on.
Are you plus or negative about it?
Well, if I was, let's say, corporate right-wing media, right? They've got a big stake in it, and obviously they're called the disillusioned voter. There's a big stake over to that side. So, but given Nigel Farage's track record, it's a hard one, Simon. He said a lot of stupid things. I don't trust him personally, but his message has been pretty consistent throughout. But personally, I don't trust him. I wouldn't have voted reform. Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious why leading up when there was banning people for saying jokes and what they'd said on Twitter. It was like a red flag straight away. And yeah, just the way he's backed down on things is stupid. And yeah, anyway, it goes to the subject, should there be more shaming from our side on that? Even people on our own side who just believe that he's like some god. Same with Tommy Robinson. Agree with 90% of what he says, but, you know, he's got some dodgy dealings. You can't just, you know what I mean? It's all well and good. We've heard the good stuff. They've been in power and they haven't done it. What's making him different?
Sounds like the cool.
He's got the working class. He's got the working class vote. You know, sorry, he's got the working class aura. Do you know what I mean? Tommy Robinson, another one who's earned his stripes. Do you know what I mean? I can think of 5, 6 videos where people have just attacked him. You know what I mean? Over the years, so he's earned his stripes. And that's where we are. Them two, they've been pretty consistent, and it's hard to, you know, just say they're one of the others. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I did a video a couple of days ago about Nigel Farage, and it was basically.
I watched it.
Oh, did you?
I watched it.
The other one. But one thing I didn't mention was that Nigel Farage knows for a fact that everything they say about Tommy Robinson is a lie. So he knows it's all bullshit. So this is where he's a politician, and this is why you can't trust him. Because if he was absolutely honest, and if he actually come out and said, "Look, I don't like Tommy. I think he's a thug, you know, all this sort of stuff. But I can't disagree what he says about Islam, and you know, I don't want to associate myself with him. I think that might be a really good play for him, but he doesn't do it. He's a politician at the end of the day.
Anyway, I'm off. So
you're done.
Simon, all right. When you want, try and get some more, mate. It really is useful. I thank you. I know you said the other one. What you're thanking me for? You know what I mean? You give us that outlet. So if you can do more, it's definitely appreciated from this caller. Anyway.
Excellent. Right, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you.
Appreciate it, pal. Have a good one. Take care.
Cheers, mate.
Great.
All right, cheers, Si. You going to Discord or going to bed? No, he's going to bed. Am I still on? If I am, good night.